Are you a service-based business owner looking to increase profits to fund your lifestyle? Well, this podcast is for you. We bring you inspirational guests sharing actionable tips to solve many of the struggles you face each and every day. And now, over to your host, Paul Higgins.
Hi, Paul here. Before we get into the show, would you like to make a great first impression on LinkedIn? If so, I have something just for you. When people search for your name on Google, your LinkedIn profile will normally come up first. Before meeting someone for the first time, how often do they view your LinkedIn profile? For many coaches and consultants I begin to work with, their profiles don't do them any justice. I've created a simple solution where you can whip your profile into shape to have your best foot forward when attracting new clients on LinkedIn. Go to blgdownload.com, so that's blgdownload.com to get your 5 killer tips today. Hello to the Build, Live, Give Solo podcast, episode number 270. If it's your first time, welcome. And if you love what you hear, please subscribe. I recommend listening to episode 0.5 first to guide you. If you're a regular, thanks for your support. It means the world to me. I love listening to podcasts and always have follow-up questions. If you're the same, go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/questions and lodge yours, and I promise to answer it, just like Scott. So big shout out to Scott, who asked me a question on what sales CRMs I recommend, and it was relation to episode 266, the 9 custom fields you should have in your sales CRM. So 266, check that out. And what I recommend is 2. So one is Copper Sales CRM, so that's COPPER for Gmail clients. And for Outlook, I recommend Sales Flare, so that's Sales Flare, FLARE. So they're the 2 I recommend. So please check out past shows on your favorite platform. Just search Build, Live, Give. So today's topic is how to remove yourself from doing 50% of the admin work in sales. You'll learn how I got to 50%, my options, and where to start on LinkedIn. So where to start handing your workload, admin workload, off your hands from LinkedIn to somebody else. So I got the 50% from time and motion studies that I did at Coca-Cola. So yes, it's a bit dated. It's back in the 2011 I left, but it was sort of about 2009 and 8. But I don't think it really changed. And then also I've done some recent client tracking. So when I mentor people on sales, it's one of the things we do, and it was pretty close to that 50%. And then there's also articles that I've read from HubSpot and others. So look, does it really matter if it's 50% or not? Look, it doesn't, right? Overall, it's too high. I think we all get that. And look, it makes a great headline to say 50%, but really, if it's 30%, 50%, anywhere around that range is too much. So the most important thing is how to reduce it. And there's 3 simple things that I want to talk about today. So one is get a sales admin person. So you've probably heard me to death, if you're a regular listener, talking about the importance of having a virtual assistant or admin staff. Now, it didn't really matter whether it was in office virtual, because most of us are now working more remotely. It makes sense to get a remote one. And there's some fantastic options, and I'm more than happy if you just want to ask me through the questions that I mentioned above, and I'll mention it below. Just ask me. I've got lots of referrals. I ran a outsourcing company for close to 5 years myself, and I really know who out there in the grand scheme of things have got great VAs, and particular sales admin related VAs for service-based business owners like yourself. But you get that person, and effectively what you can do is just timesheet everything that you're doing in sales. So if it's a bit of A3 paper, I know for Americans it's not, it doesn't always translate. That's an Australian thing I recently found out. But you know what I mean. If you get a large piece of paper and you write all the things that you're doing from a sales base, and then you just draw a line saying, what should you only do and what you can remove. You can do the exact same thing in a Google Sheet if you like, or what I used to do is tag it in my Asana, basically sales admin, and every time I did a task that was sales admin based, I would then have a collection. So how you get it is really up to you, but it's great to get that list. and then you can look to hand that off. And yes, there's some training involved and there's a bit of hardship at the start to pick the right person, train them. But believe me, it's well worth it in the long run. So that was number one, get a sales admin person. Remember to hit me up if you need a contact on someone that provides that. Number two is automate your sales funnel. So if you go back to Joel Lewis, episode 160, he talks really well about automating a sales funnel. But this has made a huge difference to my business. I used to do, a lot of the pre-work before a client got on the call and also on the call itself, because I was constantly having to educate. I had to update, do a lot more research than I really needed to do. And now that I've automated that, so I've got, some lead magnets, I've got some master classes, those things have made a huge difference in reducing the amount of work that I need to do for me to really help educate clients and get to know them better. So I've automated that through a sales funnel. We use a couple of great platforms. We use Dubb, D-U-B-B, who's a sponsor of this podcast normally. So we use them and some other ways to do it. So yes, there's ActiveCampaign, etc. But it really makes a great difference in doing that. So that's number two, automate your sales funnel. And the third one is automate your sales CRM. So there's automatically tasks assigned. And what we do is we use Copper, but not the task base, right? We actually automate it into Asana. That's where the tasks go into, but it automatically tells my team when they need to follow up, when they need to add fields, all of that. So by automating your sales CRM, it reduces the admin work you're doing, but it also reduces the work that the sales admin person you get on. So I know I've sort of covered it at a bit of a top line here, just due to time, but there's really those three key things in this section, which is, how do you let go of that, 30 to 50%? So one is get a sales admin person. Two is automate your sales funnel. So Joel Lewis, episode 160 is a great one. And three is automate your CRM. If you choose Copper, Salesforce, it doesn't really matter. So before we go to where you can start, where I'm going to show you and give you a resource from LinkedIn, would you like to learn how to quickly scale and escape a referral-only business to create a steady stream of high-quality leads? So you can go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/sales and you can learn the 3 steps to deliver repeatable sales in my free live masterclass. If you really, struggle to get the results yourself, well, this will definitely help you. So one is how to remove yourself from doing 50% of the manual work. So what I do is go into more detail than what I've shown and spoken to you about today. Two is LinkedIn success secrets made easy. And step 3 is how to attract and sell to red hot buyers that trust every word you say. Wouldn't that be lovely? So they're the 3 key things. It's on the 17th of February, 2021, so hopefully you're listening before that, and it's at 2 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, or as I normally say, New York, but that's not disrespectful to the other people that are on that time zone. So go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/sales. So where to start, okay? So if you go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/questions and just put in there LinkedIn, right? My team's already been worded up. What we'll do is send you a full task list of what my sales admin person does for me, okay? So, I'll give you a couple of examples. So, the posting, right? So I call that sales admin because you're creating content, right? So some people call it marketing, etc. But my definition, just call it in sales time. So yes, you can write the content, but everything else, the posting, we use a particular software to boost likes and comments. All of that can be done by an admin person. Birthdays, right? So that's a great way of building connections. I think that's a sales process on LinkedIn. You can record a video once. They can then do it when they get the notifications. I could just go on and on, but I've got a full list there. So just go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/questions and just type in LinkedIn and I'll get my team to send it to you. So 3 key actions from today. One is review your sales admin time and most importantly, make some changes. Okay. The second is register for the free webinar. And the third is get the LinkedIn roles template, as I've just mentioned before. You can get all the links in the show notes at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast, episode number 270, or on the app you're listening to now. I recommend the Pocket Cast app. And remember, the LinkedIn roles one won't be part of the show note link. That's where you've got to go to questions to get it. So listen to episode 0.5 if you are new. It gives you a great overview. And the other one is register for how to quickly scale and escape a referral-only business to create a steady stream of high-quality leads. Just go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/sales. Please connect and follow me on LinkedIn. That's where I'll put out my best content, and I'd love to see yours. If you know someone interested in reducing manual work in sales, please share this with them. They would love you for it. Please take action to build, live, and give.
Thanks for listening to the Build, Live, Give podcast. If you like what you heard, please share it and leave us a review. It would mean the world to us.